Hey guys, TooSaucery here again, and today I'm going to be bringing you a guide on farming Primal Mana. The location that we're going to be farming is the Tower of Karazhan, a Burning Crusade dungeon. The zone is located in the Eastern Kingdoms, the Deadwood Pass zone, and the dungeon is right here on the map. The entrance to the dungeon is just down here at the base of the tower. There is a gate, you're going to have to click it to open to enter. So with this farm, we're going to be making around 750 to 1500 gold a run, depending on the price of the Primal Mana on your server. They're currently kind of fluctuating a bit, depending on your server, and the fact that the Legion pre-patch just come out. So that's affecting it a little bit. But I do expect the Primal Mana to go back up once Legion hits. There's going to be a large demand for it again with the massive amount of players that are coming back. This run generally only takes about 5 to 10 minutes once the prep work for the dungeon is completed. So lately a Primal Mana has been going anywhere from 60 to 150 gold depending on your server and the demand of it, of course. So even if it is the low end, you're still going to be making about 700 gold in less than 10 minutes once the prep work for the dungeon is completed. So that still is a nice chunk of gold that you will be making. Before I do get into this, I just want to note to maximize the profit with this, you're going to want an enchanter with Void Shatter. If you don't know what Void Shatter is, I'll just explain that really quickly. It is an enchanting recipe that basically smashes a Void Crystal into 2 large prismatic shards. The reason why this is good is because a large prismatic shard, on average, usually sells for double, if not triple, the amount of a Void Crystal sword. So that's definitely a good way to get a lot more gold out of your enchanting materials. If you don't have the recipe Void Shatter, you actually get that from the reputation vendor out on the Isle of Caldanus for the Shattered Sun reputation. To get the Shattered Sun reputation, you're going to need to go to a dungeon called the Magister's Terrace. It'll take roughly 5 to 6 clears of the dungeon to get honored, because that's all you need. And you should be good to go. At this point in time, I'm going to post a map of the dungeon location and the reputation vendor, which you buy the pattern from, on the screen at this point, just in case you're unsure of where to go to get that. So if you're unsure of the fastest way to get to the Isle of Caldanus, there is a portal inside of Shatrath City. It's in the middle of the city. It'll take you right there. So we're going to be farming a specific section of Karazhan, basically, and that's everything from the beginning of the instance up to the opera event. We're going to be killing everything up to the Curator and even a bit past the Curator. So the little bit of dungeon prep I was talking about is just clearing the dungeon itself and the bosses up until the Curator. You're not going to want to kill the Curator, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. But that's basically where the farm starts. If you're unfamiliar of Karazhan, if you've been paying attention, I'm actually just leading you to where the farm starts. So if you've missed that and you don't know where to go, just rewatch the little bit of the video over again. I'm sure it'll help you. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, this sucks, I gotta clear Karazhan to get to the farming spot, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to spend the 10 minutes it's going to take? It's probably less than 10 minutes actually to get to the point where we need to be. I'll explain to you why you want to do that. There are several beneficial reasons. So the first boss, Ottoman the Huntsman, actually has a chance to drop a mount. It is Reigns of the Fire Warhorse. Drop rate's like 1%, but I mean it's still a chance of that mount every single week per character that you decide to do this on. Morose and the Maiden of Virtue, they generally don't drop anything too special, but they are a large chunk of gold and enchanting materials, especially if you have the Void Shatter, like I was talking about, to turn your Void Crystals into large prismatic shards. One thing to keep in mind with that is that they do have a chance to drop some weapons, and weapons do generally sell more than enchanting materials, so just watch for your vendor prices. And finally, before you do get to your farming spot, there is the Opera event. The Opera event has a chance to spawn 1 of 3 bosses per week. The Little Red Riding Hood event does have a chance to drop a pet. It is the Spiky Collar. Once learned, you get the Little Bad Wolf pet. That pet is generally worth anywhere between 100 and 700 gold depending on your server and the quantity that are on the auction house. Of course, if you happen to luck out and there's none of them on the auction house, you can kind of set the price. I generally probably wouldn't go over 1500, although I have sold them for 200 gold, or 2000 gold, sorry, in the past, but that has been quite some time from now. So just in general, you're going to be getting between 300 and 600 gold from clearing the dungeon up until this point. I do like to pull all the trash and kill the bosses along the way because it is extra gold, of course. That's going to be a combination of your vendor trash items, your cloth, your disenchantables from the bosses, and whatever green drops you may get along the way. I find that the Burning Crusade transmog items from this dungeon kind of suck. Generally most of them are 100 gold, but you do get lucky with the odd blue item here and there. But if you don't want to clear the first portion of the dungeon, you can always extend the raid lockout. What that does is extend your current dungeon to the next week. To do this, you're just going to push your O button, go to your raid tab, raid info button, click Karazhan, and then the extend raid lockout button will light up. So you'll just be able to continue right here from where you were last week. Or I guess that would be this current week. So the location where I currently am in the dungeon is where the farm is going to begin. You'll see this door here. This door is normally locked. It is the side entrance for Karazhan. You're going to want to right click it from the inside of the dungeon. That will unlock it for you, and you'll see another raid portal. On the outside of the dungeon, there is a side entrance to Karazhan, but you cannot enter through this door unless you've unlocked it from this side. So after we're done our current 10-minute run, what we're going to be doing is you're going to log out of this character or zone out of the dungeon for 30 minutes to soft reset the dungeon, at which point all the trash from here up until Curator and after the Curator will respawn. You will be able to zone back in through the side entrance and continue from this point, so you'll not need to run through the entire zone again. So I'm about to start the run, but before I do, I just wanted to make note that I did do one run before I started this video, just to give you guys kind of the idea what you'll be getting out of it once you start your farm. In my previous run, I managed to farm 14 Arcane Dust for 39.9 gold, 11 Greater Prismatic Shards for 221 gold, 4 Greater Planar Essences for 16 gold, and 8 Primal Mana in one run. So in total, that's around 757 gold to 1477 gold, depending on your server's price of Primal Mana, of course, which, if it is on the low end, generally I would just hold on to it and just wait for the price to go up. But even if you don't, like I said before, 757 gold in 10 minutes is still pretty good money. So I'm going to start my run here. You're going to want to pull everything up to the Curator, and I'm just going to show you that now. Okay, so we're at the entrance of the Curator's room. He's this big golem that's walking back and forth here. He's a rather large aggro radius, so you don't want to get too close to him, but you're definitely going to want to pull everything in this room. You can stealth past the boss, which you're going to need to. If you don't have a stealth ability, I'll show you a way to get past him in just a second here. So I'm going to pull everything. So it's these elementals and the eels that are going to be giving us our primal mana, so you're going to want to make sure you do kill every single one of them. So just pull them right about here after the Curator's path down, AoE them, collect your loot really quickly, and you're either going to want to stealth, and if you don't have a stealth ability, you can run and hide behind this wall right here. Oh, he aggroed me. So if that happens to you, what you're going to want to do is just run back, and he should de-aggro once you get to this back room here. It's very important you do not want to kill the Curator, because if you do kill the Curator, what's going to happen is the trash up to the Curator's room and after the Curator's room will not respawn, and that trash is what you're going to want to be farming for this, because it's where you get all your primal mana from. So he should be despawning or running back anytime now. There we go. Right at that point, he just decides to take off. So you can just kill these ads, get rid of them, and we're going to run back and try that again. Okay, so like I was saying, you're going to want to run up here and get behind this wall over here as the Curator paths away. It's not too hard to do. you're just going to want to stand right here and you will line of sight Curator. As you can see, he's passing right now, and I'm not gaining any aggro. Just want to wait till he gets a little bit of distance. You're going to want to pop around the corner and just go down this ramp. The Curator will come all the way to these two Arcane Watchmen here. So you're going to want to kill these guys, loot them, and then just jump off the ledge really quickly. Once you're off the ledge, you are going to be out of aggro range. There are going to be a large amount of Eels, Elementals, and Arcane Protectors and Watchmen down here. You're going to want to gather up and kill absolutely everything in this room. One thing to take note though is that these eels do not take magic damage, so you're going to need some kind of melee attack. So it's probably best to do this on a rogue or something that's not a spellcaster, because it's going to take you forever just to kill these things one by one, hitting them with your staff. So I'm going to gather all these up, and I'm going to show you where I generally like to loot them to continue with this run. So once you have everything gathered up on this lower level here, I like to bring it to the base of this ramp, and I just AoE it all down. Just loot. You want to make sure you have a decent amount of bag space because you are going to be filling up. Generally 2 bags on a run. Like your main backpack is what I have, and then another bag every run. And then just continue on up this ramp here. There are going to be some ghosts in this next room, and some elementals. I don't believe the ghosts really drop Primal mana, but the elementals sure will. So I'm just going to gather all of this up once again. Okay, once everything's gathered up, just AoE it down, and that is going to be the end of your run. There is nothing else past here that's really worth killing. There's not a large amount of monsters left in the instance. I don't believe you can get any primal mana off of anything else in the dungeon past this point, but don't quote me on that. So what you're going to want to do is just log off here. Since we unlocked the side entrance door, when you log out here, after being logged out for 30 minutes, it will throw you outside of the instance at that side entrance. The reasoning for logging out for 30 minutes is because it will soft reset the dungeon, and everything we've killed up until this point will respawn if you have not killed the Curator. So I cannot stress the importance of not killing the Curator, because if you do that, your farm for the week will be done on this character. You'll have to redo this on another character. If you don't have anything else to do and you're not farming anything else besides this, what you could do is bring multiple characters to this dungeon as well and just rotate through the characters. Just ensure that you do not log back on the first character before the 30-minute time limit, because you want to be logged out for, like I said, 30 minutes to soft reset the dungeon. So please don't waste your time in running out of the dungeon. Do yourself a favor and just log out here. I like to bring a character out here for the week, generally one that I don't really do a whole lot on, and I just leave him here to farm Karazhan. Once you have been logged off of your character for 30 minutes and the dungeon has soft reset, you will appear outside of the portal here, up on the side of the tower. I'm just going to give you a quick little reference to see as to where the entrance is as compared to the front entrance. So your front entrance of the dungeon's right here, the side entrance is just up here. So at which point you just re-enter the dungeon and just do your farm all over again. Rinse and repeat, log out of your character, do it again. The nice thing that I like about this farm is it only takes 10 minutes, so I can log off of whatever I'm doing, come do this farm really quickly, and then log back out and go level character or whatever else. It doesn't really take too much time. And then after your soft reset, you're outside of the dungeon, so you can mount up on your Tundra Mammoth here, and you can vendor whatever you have. So I'm just going to do a quick tally on how much I made that run, and I'll get back to you guys in a second. So the totals for my second run there, vendor trash was 33 gold, I got 17 arcane dust valued at 56 gold, 70 silver, 2 times greater planar essences worth 8 gold, 4 times greater prismatic shards worth 80 gold, and 8 primal mana. You seem to get roughly around 8 every single run, and they were valued at 480 gold to 1200 gold. So that's a total of 657 gold to 1377 gold that run. That's only about 100 gold difference between the first run and the second run. On the second run, I only managed to get 1 BOE epic, which can be the difference right there. Sometimes you get 2 void crystals from a BOE, and 2 void crystals can be shattered into 4 prismatic shards, and the auction house value for those currently are 20 gold apiece. Well guys, that's it for this video. If it's helped you out in any way at all, toss me a subscribe. I try to put out 2 videos a week. I've also started Twitch streaming, so if you want to check me out live, the link for that and all my social media can be found in the description.